ambitious immigrants. Today, I'd like to take some time to share some thoughts with you about entrepreneurship. I've seen many times people who were going into entrepreneurship and lost a lot of money. Most of the time, it's because there is this advertising out there about becoming rich by becoming an entrepreneur. And there are people who make money that way. They sell books, they have seminars, and they do a bunch of things to kind of entice you to become an entrepreneur. I really value that, and I think some of my heroes are entrepreneurs, but I think there are a lot of people who go into it as somebody going into boxing. You go there not understanding the rules, the basics, and they end up getting knocked out and in pain, and sometimes not even learning much. So my approach, what I would recommend and advise people if you want to become an entrepreneur, is the first, I would say, do not go at it alone. Ideally, you want to have somebody who is going to be a guide, a mentor. So choose a mentor who is going to help you learn, because there's just so many things out there and so many bad knowledge and good, but a mentor who knows about the area you're going into will help you succeed. So if you want to become an entrepreneur, just like if you want to become a boxer, you don't just start punching a wall. You find a coach, somebody who's going to teach you. So find a mentor, ideally somebody who has succeeded in entrepreneurship, so that they can teach you things not from books, but from real life experience and things they've learned along the way to give you a chance, maximize your chance of success. The second thing I would say is to really choose an industry you're passionate about. Many times I've seen people going into it just to make money. If you go into entrepreneurship to make money, but you're not passionate, let's say, about agriculture, you're not passionate about fashion, you're going to give up, because entrepreneurship is hard. It's so hard. You need to love what you're doing, and it has to be something that you don't try to do because you want to make money, but it's just in you, in your blood. There are people, let's say, who love music. It'd be easy for you to go into that industry, even though it's an industry that's struggling, because you'll actually enjoy it. You'll enjoy the time you're learning about music, and it'll be easier for you. And even though it's hard and competitive, it'll be easier for you to succeed than if you go, let's say, into software engineering and you want to start a startup and you don't really like coding. If you do that, well, you are likely to fail, because it's going to take a long time, a lot of hard work, and don't go into it thinking that you're going to work, maybe 10 hours, be your own boss, have your own schedule. If anything, the first 5 to 10 years, you're going to have to work even twice harder, 80 hours, no weekends, and you have to push yourself hard, and the risks you'll be taking will be so high that you're more likely to fail, because there is big reward, of course, and there is also big risk involved. So I would really recommend using that approach. Choose something you're really passionate about. The other thing is, a lot of times I see people going at it full time. To me, I see entrepreneurship almost like, I would say medicine or, engineering. It takes a long time to learn it. So I would say ideally recommend going at it part-time. That way you get your day job while learning more about the industry, learning more about whether it's actually good for you, and then trying to make the business grow slowly. It takes a long time to succeed. It takes 5 to 10 years of hard work. So I will, really be against the idea that somebody will go full-time into it. The only times when I would recommend you to go full-time is if you've saved 5 years of expenses, if you have some experience in that area and you know that you're likely to succeed, and a bunch of other things. But I would really recommend avoiding that path of just going full-time and abandoning everything, because you are more likely to succeed and feeling so much stress. And I don't think you will necessarily learn more or work harder, because that's the only thing going on. I think if you have a part-time job as an entrepreneur, at least I would say if you have a full-time job to pay your bills, and then you have evenings and weekends focusing on entrepreneurship, and you start seeing the momentum of success, then I think you probably are on a good track. And as you're getting sales, the more sales you get, then you can start thinking of going full-time. But without sales, without making enough money to pay your bills, I would highly recommend not taking that route. Many people I know have done that, and they've ended up really losing a lot of money. So once again, entrepreneurship is great. I highly recommend that, but I really think that you should have somebody teaching you a mentor guiding you. Really, you need to choose an area you're really passionate about. The industry has to be, whether it's music, software engineering, agriculture, it doesn't matter. It has to be an area you're passionate about. And if you're passionate about that area, it means you try to learn more about it on your own. You watch documentaries, you read books, you hang out with the people who do that kind of stuff, and you even know names of experts in that area. That's a proof that you actually are passionate about the industry, because you keep track of the big players in that industry. And of course, I would say don't go full-time at it. I would say do part-time. If you start doing well as a part-time person doing it, then you may be ready to go at it full-time. Many people make the mistake of just abandoning everything and going for that. But we see successes, we see people succeeding at it, but those are rare occurrences. It's not all the time that it happens. So I would highly recommend you taking your time and don't just buy into this marketing thing where people tell you that it's an easy life, you'll make a lot of money and get rich. It's harder than that. Everybody wants to have that title, entrepreneur, but you know that it takes so much more to become an engineer, so much more to become a doctor, and being a successful entrepreneur requires as much work and investment. So I hope you like this. I hope you find this useful. My aim here is to really help you in terms of personal finance, and not just buy into everything you hear left and right and end up losing out on a lot of money, because most people go into it with this, this excitement of wealth and riches, but it's much more competitive today. It's harder than it used to be an entrepreneur. So if you want to really go into it, take the time, learn the industry, choose an area of passion and stick to it, and you'll have a chance of becoming one of the rare successful entrepreneurs, and one day become a mentor to other people. And I hope you like this video. Thank you so much for your time, and see you next time.